Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today's date it is the October 1st of 2022, and I am very happy. I just started checking out this video. I don't remember seeing it before. Uh, I guess it's a regular, new on Netflix. I haven't seen it before. I think somebody just started, let's see. I think somebody just started this up recently because I would be, I bet you because it's only got 24, million subscribers. But anyway, it looks like this is an interesting because they put them in categories as you're watching this thing that's what's, new on Netflix for the coming months. Well, why am I so excited? I'm excited because season 3 of Derry Girls is now on Netflix. Let's see if I can show this little clip to you without getting copyright, notice or whatever. Not that I really care, but so let's give this a try here.
And you're really having it again.
We're having it.
Oh man, I guess sit that happens on human resources affects Big Mouth too.
Guess so.
Why is it so fancy doing the 24 dance-a-thon thing between them? Some are over here. Why the going? You're yelling out about 24. You're better off not right. Or, what you could get? Not doing me any harm?
Happiness is one of the most.
Oh, okay, so that was just maybe maybe the thing is so short I won't get a copyright hit. Not that I, not that I care. So what else is going on? I haven't made any major changes. I did. I changed the. Let me see. Did I throw that down over there? Yeah, I did. Hang on. Ouch. I need to get the hex wrench and tighten up this chair. Feels like it's falling apart. I have several, docking stations or what have you. This is one that I have, and in fact, I was just using it till a few minutes ago, and I decided to switch to the wavelength one that I have, and so now it's hooked up. I'm not sure that, well, they I think each have their advantage. Well, I think the wavelength is definitely better. It has a whole bunch of connections on the back where you can hook up multiple monitors. It has at least 3 things on the back, I think. Anyway, what else is going on here? I've messed with the Sound Blaster settings. I hope that that's made an improvement. I'm using the Avery Media PW513. That's the only camera that I've got hooked up. You know me, I'll probably hook up the rest of them. What I should do is find something that works perfectly for me, and then not keep changing things. So this is the 1st of October. Oh, by the way, did I leave that up? Let's see. No, I did not. No, I did not. If you happen to follow the raccoon guy up in Canada, he got married today. And maybe I'll put a link to that. Anyway, just do a search for raccoon guy and you'll, there for a while, I forget, can't remember if it was my grown son, if he was watching that, or if it was my ex-wife or whatever, but I started watching episodes of the raccoon guy. Then I got tired of it, and then a few things popped up. I can't remember what. Anyway, he just got married to I think she retired nurse from the United States. He's in Canada. Anyway, they got married today, the 1st, and they've been without power up there for 9 days. And I think they're still without power up in Canada, and I think a storm came through. And in the small town that is close by where they got married, he said that one street was still without power. So, what else did I want to talk about? I'm using ManyCam. I'm using, of course, my new Sound Blaster X4 card. And I still have not figured out everything about it. But I hope the sound I hope this is going to work out for my sound okay. But there are a bunch of, adjustments that I could be making. Oh, one thing I guess I would like to mention, that's why I saved it up here. I'm in, Fort Worth, Texas, in the United States. Columbus Day, a holiday here in the United States. We've gotten a lot smarter, well, some of us. No offense to Italians, or whatever, but Columbus Day has been a holiday for I don't know how long. I could look it up, but I'm not going to do that. You can look it up yourself, Wikipedia or whatever. There is an awful lot of sentiment now that, of course, that Columbus came over and all the other people from, Europe that came over here back in the olden days, and they brought syphilis and smallpox, I think, and all types of things, and wiped out millions of, Native Americans here, killed all the Indians, and so a lot of people, liberals like myself, of course, I think that, Columbus Day should be done away with as a, holiday. Maybe some people think we'll keep it, but make it a day, where, we honor and celebrate the, Native Americans, the Indians, or whatever. But that's something that should be taken care of, the immigration that is, that came to the United States, came in waves. There was a time that we needed workers when we were building a railroad across the United States, tying up the East and the West, going from the East Coast to California. And Chinese were welcomed in, and they came in masses, and they built the railroad and built some other things. And then we didn't want them anymore, and we threw them out. The Irish. My family came from County Cork in Ireland. They came over from Ireland because of what the potato famine, potato, because of the starvation or whatever. They came over, and at first, there were signs up, I guess, saying, no dogs, and in places of, like if eating that kind of, no dogs and Irish, and then, they were assimilated, and they, became and gained, political power and stuff. And then the Italian, maybe it was first Italian, I don't remember, I wasn't around, alive then, but, the same thing with, Italians and various ethnic groups that came in, and, there was resentment, and, then they were assimilated into our country, and then they were a point of, we were glad to have them. Well, maybe not the South, I guess, but, so when Martin Luther King holiday started, I could see that was a life, was I going to school then? Let's see, I got out of high school in 1959. Anyway, there was, and there probably still is, in Alabama and maybe even Texas, where I am, resentment about Martin Luther King holiday, Well, of course, I was an adult. I had kids in school. Well, maybe my kids were even out of school by then. In Belton, Missouri, where I was living at the time. Like Kansas City, Missouri, Martin Luther King, Day was finally, accepted by, the school board and a policy or whatever. In Belton, Missouri, where I remember when the other schools were all, well, not everywhere, because there was other places like Belton, Missouri. But the school board, they didn't say, no school, because it's Martin Luther King's, holiday or whatever. What they did was, there'll be no school on such and such a day. The teachers are going to be having teachers meetings, or they're going to be doing that. They just couldn't. The school board, I'm sure, was probably, maybe they were, but they couldn't, and they didn't dare say school will be closed for Martin Luther King's birthday. So they had to, every year for a while, they had to come up with a reason why school would be closed that day, but they didn't say for Martin Luther King's, birthday. So, but Columbus Day, I'm sure not because I'm sure because it's come up, and the Italians in the United States here, It's like, they think it's offensive to them, and no, it's just, we learn, and hopefully we, get smarter, unless you're in the south part of the United States. Did I say that out loud? No. Anyway, I've got a few things I want to do. With my settings here and everything. One thing I'm going to be concerned about every day for a while. It'd be nice if I got to the point where I didn't have to worry about the audio. The big thing I want is to be in sync. That's one of the problems that pops up occasionally. But that's just one of the things. I'm using the Avra Media webcam. I'm using the microphone on that, and it seems to be working okay, but got it sitting on a little tripod. I know I'm going to want to add back my second, camera, maybe even my third camera, but for right now, I'm just going to use the one camera, and that's where the microphone is. For many years before there was a YouTube and stuff like that, I streamed video 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And a lot of times I would have the camera up in the corner of, the room, which is really what I basically, like. I like watching YouTube videos, not as much now, because you get kind of, but I like the views when people, have it where you can see the room. And I think the consensus is of YouTubers or whatever, that close up or whatever. I like to look at the background and see what they have on the the wall, and what kind of what's going on. Sometimes you'll see somebody will be doing a YouTube video, and you'll see somebody's kids in the background, or whatever. Especially those that are where somebody like the BBC guy that was he had his rooms at home, set up. He was an expert in, I'm not sure if it was the Middle East or whatever, and the British Broadcasting Corporation were having him do his report on what was going on in Iraq or Iran or something like that. So, and he had, like maps on his wall that it sort of looked like it was, that he was in at the BBC studio or whatever. And one of his kids in a stroller or whatever comes into the, the door opens in the back, and here comes this kid in there. And then was there another kid? I think, anyway, the boy comes in, and then the dad is like, what, and then the guy's wife comes through the door, but she's down low, like crawling and trying to get, she thinks she's going to stay under the, and brings the kid out. And that made, I think that appeared like on the front page of CNN or whatever, hey, look at this, But people assumed, I'm not sure if she looked, if she was a person of color or, but whatever it was, everybody, and I assumed too, when I saw, for some reason, when I saw her come through, I thought it was probably the maid or housekeeper or babysitter or something like that. And then he mentioned, or it was mentioned that other people thought the same thing, or I think he might have been interviewed, No, that was my wife, So, but anyway, I like to see. I made a few. You'll find them someplace back in the my videos that I have where I out walking around with the camera. With a no, some would be with a cell phone, some would be with just a digital camera, walking and talking videos. I think I've got a section on that. I like those when people. I saw. Well, I've seen a bunch of them, but I saw like there was one I remember where a small town in Europe, someplace, Italy, in Italy, and somebody had a camera up high or whatever, aimed down like it's a square, and you could watch. And I think it went 24 hours a day, I think 7 days a week, and you could see, people coming through, starting up the day and that kind of stuff. Anyway, enough chit chat. I'm going to thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to watch. What I should do is I'm going to watch the Derby Girls season 3. I shouldn't. There's only probably 6 episodes because that's what the first and second seasons had. I think it was 6 episodes. So I hope I should just save one a day, so at least I'd have 6 days of watching it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.